How you doing, Mike?
Not bad, Eric. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Get you the usual?
It's a bit early for me. I think I'll have one of them designer waters instead.
Designer waters. Coming right up.
Thank you, sir.
I have a little designer water myself.
Don't mind if I do. Hey, do you remember that movie I lent you?
Oh, you talking about Malibu Express?
That'd be the one.
That Cody Abilene sure does have a way with the ladies, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's a real son of a bitch.
That he is. That he is. So we just got done watching Andy Sedaris' Malibu Express. The tagline on the box says, "Packing heat from Texas to Malibu Beach." This is Andy Sedaris' first film in the Bullets, Bombs, and Babes series, also known as the Malibu Bay series of films. It's about this guy, Cody Abilene, who's charged with investigating a crime ring who are selling computer secrets to the Russians.
Computer technology leaks. Not information, like government information. It's literally the computer is the leak. The technology of the computer is the leak. It's confusing, right?
So now the Russians know how to build a Commodore 64.
Right.
Or an Atari ST.
I think it's kind of insulting. Like, wouldn't they understand computer technology already?
Like at this point in their timeline, like the Russians are just using abacuses.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, all they had to do, instead of computer technology being leaked, information about the technology, just make it some government, some information about the government, like a weapon or, something like that.
So, a little bit about Cody. He is written as more irresistible to women than any other character ever put to fiction. To be Cody Abilene.
I wish. Yeah, he's like the ultimate.
Like to a fault. Like it's a hindrance for him.
He only has so much dick to go around.
He meets a woman, and the woman instinctively tries to lure him into coital relations. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always work out for him. I don't feel like it seems like a great thing on paper, but
it's almost like a burden.
Yeah.
It's like enough is enough already. Jesus.
Yeah. You might get old after a while,
Having sex.
He lives on a boat called the Malibu Express.
Yep.
And I thought maybe that they just had a boat called the Malibu Express, so they named a movie after the boat.
Which is it's a good possibility.
Yeah. I mean, they could have just changed the sign on the boat, but if the sign already had a cool name for a movie like Malibu Express, why even?
It should have been the whole inspiration for the film.
Right. On the pier that the Malibu Express is docked, there's a big door that's been constructed that looks like the rear end of a caboose.
Why is that there?
He says it's because
Mama was afraid of airplanes and boats, but she loved trains. She was killed last year when a private rail car jumped the track. So in her memory, Daddy and I painted a picture of a caboose and put it up in front of our boat.
To commemorate your mother's death.
To remember the time that your mom was ran over by a train every time you go and get on the boat.
You put a caboose.
That's just good writing.
So he can't shoot for shit. The first scene in the movie, he goes to the shooting range. He attempts to shoot the target. He misses several times. And then, he hits the target, but he doesn't hit, the target. The dude on the target.
Oh!
What did he hit?
A light or something.
Oh. So he's not a very good shot.
He misses every time, and then he blows on the barrel of the gun.
And he doesn't seem discouraged about it either, does he?
Yeah, he does that, and he's totally content with missing, and then he just, blows the smoke off the barrel. So he's a terrible shot, but really, like, the only target he can hit is a pussy.
There's a lot of women in Cody's life. 2 new women in Cody's life are Faye and May. He discovers them on his boat.
So he comes home from a long day of detecting things. And he goes through the caboose, walks through his caboose, and then hops on his boat, the Malibu Express, and waiting for him are 2... Are they naked or are they in bikinis?
They're in bikinis, I think. We see like a gun come up from the side of the frame, and he says,
God, I hope that's a cigarette lighter. Oh.
Hi, I'm May, and this is my friend Faye.
and it ends up being a squirt gun.
Yeah, what the fuck? What? What? Why wouldn't he just say, I hope that's a squirt gun or something instead?
Why? It wasn't even touching him. Why would he think it was anything? They just came from a long voyage.
We just arrived from Corpus Christi on my daddy's boat.
From Corpus Christi, Texas to Malibu, California, which would require you going through the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
They don't see them like they really have their sea legs.
Yeah, that's probably a nice way to say it, for sure.
I don't know, it's just me. But if their shower didn't work that entire time, from Corpus Christi to Malibu, they probably weren't that fun to be around anyway.
Funky butt.
But anyway, they use the shower, and we get a full view of them using the shower.
This is the Grateful Dead, right?
And while they're in the shower...
They don't use any soap in the shower.
They don't?
No, they just glisten.
But Cody gets a text on his readout pager telling him that he needs to go visit Contessa Luciana, played by the lovely Sybil Danning.
The big-breasted Sybil Danning.
So the girls heard that he was a private investigator.
I understand you're a private investigator.
And we want to know if you'll investigate our privacy.
Timing, little ladies. I gotta go to work.
Which is only natural.
But he tells him he's got to go, and he's got an appointment to meet with a client, the Contessa.
Is that a title as well as a name, or do we?
I don't know if that's her name. Was Contessa a name?
I thought it was a name, and then we were like, is that a title or?
There's that woman on the Food Network called the Barefoot Contessa.
Yeah, it's like a title.
That's
right?
what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I don't watch the Food Network.
Food porn. It's a good connection.
Yeah. But anyway, he goes to visit the Contessa. And he brings her a lovely gift of a dress that's made up of like ribbons. It's like they're just two like sashes.
It's like the most revealing dress you've ever seen in your life.
Or is that the one she's already wearing?
Oh, the first one is revealing, very really revealing. And then you think, okay, how can that be outdone? And then it's just slightly more revealing, I would say.
Yeah, it's apparently appropriate for whatever restaurant they go to that night.
Yeah, well, it is the 80s, and it's California, right? I mean, the whole thing's shot in California.
Yeah.
A little bit different than the Midwest.
And this is the way that she tries to determine if Cody is right for the job. By the way, this is her.
Right. This is Cody's job interview.
Right.
Right.
This is her trying to decide if Cody is the right man to infiltrate the...
So to show his detective skills and his skills in general, he takes her on a date and then fucks the shit out of her.
Well, not only that, they immediately, as they meet for the first time, they immediately, you know,
Have a sexual rapport.
It's understood that was what was happening.
Some bonings going on.
It's not like he had to talk her into, hey, let's just go out for dinner and some drinks and we'll talk about the assignment.
I thought this was a job interview.
Let's go. Let's do this thing, and then we're gonna do this,
Right.
and we're gonna come back here, and
Well, that brings
what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. And
Right. Well, that kind of brings up the whole idea. Like every woman is just drawn to Cody. There's this automatically.
right, it's
You
not.
know, it's.
He doesn't have to do any work at all. It's
Right.
just let's do this.
I guess that's what every man wants, right?
June knockers.
The standout performance in my
You
opinion.
can't say June knockers. You can't even say it.
She
Without
spells
being-
it wrong.
She spells with it. They put an H in it to legitimize it, like make it like it's a real name.
Right.
Knockers.
Like she's from
But
Switzerland.
that even makes it worse. June knockers.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Like to make the
Knockers.
I'm coming noise.
And she's a race car driver, and he goes and visits her in the locker room, and apparently under her fire suit. June knockers? Oh my god.
There they are.
What do you think, Cody?
They're dynamite.
Those are large breasticles.
The driving and the body. They're dynamite.
The one thing I did like about that was that she has real breasts. I am so sick of the fake booby stuff. I can't. Not that it's a big part of my life, but just that it's nice to see real breasts. That's all I'm saying. Yes.
She's a good driver, though.
She's really
She
good
knows how to
driver.
handle that race car. Yeah, well, anytime he wants to get in touch with, Cody wants to get in touch with someone, he uses
Lip
phone
service.
service, a lip service. It's like calling information, but then
Information is a sex line.
right, like the days when you called information and an actual person picked up the phone,
Mm-hmm.
but
Just can't wait to see yes. Oh, baby.
Did you read that?
wait, sexy phone and lip service.
Hey, baby, I'm only as big as a beer can, but I'm real long, you know?
Oh, God.
I know what you mean.
Oh, Myrna, when you
Yes.
get hot, you let your husband watch.
Yes.
It makes me very
Yes.
crazy.
So does he have to pay something when he calls, or is it just like Cody Abilene gets that for free, maybe? But anyone else that called, it's like a 900 number.
But there's a guy in an S&M outfit, like
Right.
at the place. There's like, and every time he calls, she's got a different outfit on.
No, a different hat. A different
hat.
A different hat. She wears a different hat depending on what Cody's doing at the moment.
That's right. That's right.
Cody, tell me what you're wearing. I'd love to raise your sails and tighten your jib sheet. I want you to batten down my hatch.
I just won my rocket race.
Oh, Cody, it's you.
I won my rocket race.
Rockets. I've seen your rocket and it's big and beautiful.
Sally, listen.
Like,
She has a cowboy hat, and then she has a captain's hat.
and the last one is the NASA hat. Yeah. He makes a joke about a rocket.
Or he's driving a rocket car.
Or yeah,
Right.
and they connect it that way.
But the weirdest thing about that, I think, is that it's obviously they put this whole idea of him having to make his phone calls through this phone sex line just so they could get this sexy Sally in the movie.
Right.
And her name's Suzanne Regard. And her claim to fame is she was Miss Overdrive. That's what it said in the credits. And I had to figure out what that meant. And from what I can gather, there's a magazine for truckers called Overdrive Magazine. And it's they have like bikini girls in it. And they have like a monthly Miss Overdrive. And she was Miss Overdrive. He's got a cop friend named Beverly that he goes and visits twice a week, and they go work out together.
This place is filled with great-looking bodies. Exercise is okay, but
Drinking a Pepsi.
Not doing anything, just staring at tits.
Anna, whew, the luscious Lorette, oh my, and the outrageously sexy Peggy.
Yeah, Peggy.
Beverly's still one of my favorite ladies, though. Did they ever give you the night off, Beverly?
9 to 5 looks so good right now.
She works out. He sits and watches everyone else work out.
Drinks Pepsi.
And has a
Was it Pepsi or Coke?
it was a cool retro Pepsi can. Yeah. I like seeing old packaging in old movies.
Yeah, that's
Makes me
always
nostalgic.
fun. Chamberlain family.
The Chamberlain family. The Chamberlain family is a family that Cody is infiltrating. Anita and Liza are sisters. Lady Lillian Chamberlain is their aunt. And then Anita's husband is Stuart, who is a closeted gay man. Or as Cody says, a little light in the loafers. That's an expression you don't hear much anymore.
Right. There's some jokes like that in this movie, by the way.
That you don't
some
hear
pretty offensive
Yeah.
jokes to homosexuals, which isn't very funny to talk about. But one of there's a lot of Playboy bunnies in this movie. Are both of the sisters, were they playmates at some point, or is it just the one?
Only the brunette Liza is a playmate.
Was a playmate.
Or a playmate.
That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, a bunny is someone I think.
Bunny works at the place, like the house.
Yeah, I hate to be like, oh, I know everything about Playboy, because I'm an encyclopedia of useless knowledge. But I believe that a bunny is someone who just hangs out around the house and wears the bunny outfit.
Yeah.
But I don't think that really is a thing anymore.
That was more like the 60s, 70s era, or
so yeah.
Or did it end at?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think that there were necessarily girls or women that were.
Don't say it like women.
I don't think it was actually necessarily women that were in the magazine, as to where a playmate would be a woman that was.
It was
in
kind of
the
like
magazine.
being in minor league, right?
Maybe
like on deck.
Maybe you
you had to work your way up.
Maybe you got called up.
Yeah, right. To the majors.
But yeah, Liza Lorraine Michaels was Playmate of the Month, April 1981. Don't ask me how I remembered that. Not like I read it off of a screen or something like that.
Useless information.
Right. Liza is talking to Cody out by the pool, and she's talking about how her Mercedes is in the shop, and she needs to get out to to visit this guy named Jonathan Harper, who she's investing with his company. It's a computer company, and she has no way to get out there.
So John Harper is completely separate. How is he connected to the family?
Well, he's the guy selling the computer secrets to the Russians.
Right, but what does that have to do with the Chamberlains?
We weren't paying super close attention probably before. We thought that Liza was just in on it because she gave a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it turns out that she was investing in what she thought was a legitimate business.
Jonathan Harper. He's in computers. He buys and sells them worldwide.
You know, a lot of people have been caught selling those illegally to communist countries. I assume he's legitimate.
Great investigative work.
Me. I'm investing in his company.
And it turns out what his company is
dealing in secrets.
Dealing in selling computer secrets to the Russians.
To the Russians. Computer technology secrets.
Right. So, computer technology secrets in 1985, it would be like...
The wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Betamax.
Right.
I don't know.
And he takes her out to Jonathan's house so she can deliver the funding that they had discussed. And when we're out there, we meet the Three Stooges.
Hey, what about the other night?
Hey, motherfucker!
Here.
Look at the face.
Oh, look at his body.
Yeah, great looking guy.
Call it. The lady's an investor.
His goons.
And you didn't notice who was it? Matthew? What's his name? What stooge is he?
Yeah, Matthew.
Did you notice? You didn't notice who Matthew was. I didn't.
The guys from the gym were there?
Yeah.
No, I'm staying.
Do you see who that is? The white guy?
Who is it?
He's the captain from Police Academy. The guy who's going like this. From Police Academy 2.
These are 3 of my friends.
This guy right here?
See to it that his ass leaves these premises.
Yeah, and the rest of his body too.
Mauser?
Yeah.
You sure?
I am 1000% sure that's him.
What else that guy's name?
Hey, you, why don't you pull over for a sec? I gotta talk to
You
you.
hear the voice?
I don't know if I would have put 2 and 2 together if you wouldn't have said something.
You would have watched the whole movie
Maybe.
and not connected it?
I feel like maybe I would have.
So who's Matthew?
He's played by Art Matrano, who
I'm sure everyone knows who Art Matrano is. As much as they know who I
he
am.
plays Mauser in Police Academy 2 and Police Academy 3.
Yeah.
Their first assignments and back in training.
He's the second captain.
Right.
There was Harris.
So Harris was in the first
Harris
one.
was the first one.
And then we got Mauser for 2 movies and then back to
Mauser,
her.
yowza.
There's a part where
He's
he
got
takes
some-
a shower and Mahoney, played by Steve Guttenberg, replaces his shampoo with
I just picture the scene where he's.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Captain Mauser. Yowza, yowza. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
it was. I thought it was super glue. It's actually epoxy.
Oh, yeah.
Epoxy resin.
Oh, for his helmet. For
Tackleberry's fixing his
Tackleberry's-
helmet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the classic scene, singing in the shower.
Yeah. The other 2 being Mark and Luke. So we got Matthew, Mark,
Yeah.
and Luke. So they're named after disciples. He gets into an altercation with them, like out in the desert, where he warns them. He gives out some warning that, he's a lethal weapon or his hands are lethal weapons. And then Mark and Luke, played by Richard Brose, aka Mr. Arizona, and Luke, played by John Brown, aka Mr. Universe. They take their shirts off, and then Cody gets a little worried. Because they're big guys.
This body is a lethal weapon. Could kill you guys in a second.
I'll show you lethal weapons.
Shit.
Hey-ya!
He manages to get a few good hits in on Mark and Luke. And then he goes to punch Mauser in the gut.
Lethal weapon, my ass.
And Mauser happens to
Oh,
have
he's
a
got the gun in there,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if it's like taped on or it's like, it was right under his shirt.
Why is it
It
there?
doesn't seem like a very convenient place
Right.
if you needed to use it.
It has a strap. Why don't you just have it on your arm or your shoulder or whatever?
Just in case someone tries to punch you in the gut.
It's like, and he's like he planned it. The reaction that Mauser has is that he planned it.
Yeah. He likes to yell a lot in this movie. I don't know if that's like something that's ad-lib, but he's always like,
every scene he's in, he's yelling about something.
It's almost like to show to like
yeah.
relate dominance. Like he's
He's the alpha male.
all right. Yeah, don't mess with Matthew or Mauser. We just called him Mauser the entire
Right.
time.
Yeah, that's how we refer to him. Why is he always screaming like that?
Yoo-hoo! We're only kidding!
That was pretty funny.
We meet Shane.
Right.
He's the butler or the chauffeur.
Right.
Right.
Right. I read something like I think that they call him a houseboy.
Houseboy is his title for the film.
Well, he's the chauffeur,
Yeah.
but he also is serving hors d'oeuvres and stuff and champagne and stuff at the party. So he's more than just a chauffeur.
He's like a jack of all trades.
Right.
Luciana, I mean contestant, would you like some champagne? Can I have some designer water?
Did he just say, "Can I have some designer water"?
And he's sleeping with all of the women in the house.
Yeah,
except for
the aunt,
Lady
right?
Lillian, right?
Who knows? Maybe.
And he's sleeping with them, and then he's filming them or taking pictures of them to use as blackmail.
Right.
And he has some real creative ways of taking these pictures. They have a beach house, and in the bedroom he has this little flip-up camera that he has a remote control for.
Which is amazing. I want one of those. Not for sexual things, but just for fun. But why is he blackmailing these women?
He owes money to some. He has some gambling debts, and he needs 30 grand, I think it was, and he's trying to extort that from the family by sleeping with all of them. Including Stewart, by the way. Like, I didn't catch sound of that. We shouldn't laugh about it. Whatever. Including Stewart. And I didn't catch on to that the first time I watched it. Did you catch on to that?
Like, I didn't, think about, oh, yeah, they were doing it. I thought in my head it was for something separate, but...
Right.
Like, he was gonna do it because he was gonna tell everyone that he was being gay.
Right.
In the closet. I didn't think they did it. I thought he was just keeping Stewart's secret.
But... he knew that he was taking Stewart to
the club,
this club, and he's dressing up as a woman. Why would he have to you know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
We're gonna say that in every video. We said that in the first.
The Seinfeld thing. Does the Seinfeld thing still work? Not that there's anything wrong with that. But he didn't have to go to all that trouble. He could have just snapped some shots as he was going into the club.
The actor who plays Shane is Brett Baxter. Mm-hmm. And he's been in some really, he's been in some cool movies. One of them being Bachelor Party,
which I've never seen, by the way.
Which
you should watch.
You need to watch that. Yeah. But in Bachelor Party, he plays
Mr. Nicholas, better known as Nick the Dick.
Nick the what?
The Dick.
Hey! Ho! Ho!
Oh! Okay. Wow. Okay. Man, hey!
I watched Bachelor Party when I was 9 years old. I probably shouldn't have seen that movie, but...
Is it on the level of one of these Andy Sedaris movies?
Oh no, it's better acting. There's a plot. It's a fun movie to watch.
Is there as much nudity in Bachelor Party as there is?
No, I wouldn't say there is. No.
So in the party, the bookie's there for some reason. He's got something to do with the party. He's got something to do with the catering or something like that. For something weird. They have
something convenient.
They have some weird reason to have the bookie there, because we need to get it.
We need this scene to happen.
We need this scene to happen because we need Shane to get more motivated about getting his money and having his extortion plan go off without a hitch.
And you already have this party scene. Why not just attach it? Yeah.
So the bookie gets Shane alone in this room and threatens him with a gun.
Pulls a pistol out.
Right. And at the same time...
Now you come up with the bread, well, guess who's dead? Now listen, asshole!
He's got a gun on him already. Why would he pull out a switchblade?
or I'm gonna cut your fucking face.
Man, don't cut me.
Or shoot me.
You understand?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Pulls a switchblade out.
Then he pulls out the knife, and Shane's reaction is, please don't stab me. He's got a gun in your face. Come on.
So yeah, I guess our thinking was the switchblade was a little bit redundant.
You can't, it's hard to scratch someone with a gun to make a little blood come out.
Maybe that's what it was. He just wanted to like give him a little scar. Did he cut his face?
Yeah, a little blood comes out.
Oh.
Little reminder of our conversation, I guess.
So yeah, so then he's really got to get serious about his extortion.
Doesn't he die in like a scene after
this
that?
This guy means business. So yeah, and then he gets murdered.
Oh.
Right away.
And as he's lying on the floor, he summons the strength to stand up and...
Why does he pick up the television?
Pick up the television. He's going to maybe throw it at his murderer.
What makes the world go round?
What was...
And then he just... The scene abruptly cuts
So like
to
Cody...
the next day.
Right.
And they're like out at the pool, like having brunch, and they're like, is that a dead body over there? Is that what?
Doesn't it cut to like Cody like diving into the pool or something?
Or getting out of the pool? Which one is it?
Something.
He gets out of the pool several times. Maybe at least twice. What?
So then it's him and Luciana, Contessa Luciana, hanging out by the pool. And they discover Shane's body.
Why don't you get out of here? I'll vouch for you. We were together all night.
I'd rather stay here with you. I'm worried.
Don't worry, I can take care of this. You really don't want to get involved. I have to call the police now.
This is how you react to finding a corpse?
Hear yourself.
Like...
Together. It's like a romantic situation.
It's like they just like maybe like walked by it like 3 or 4 times.
There's broken window. There's a broken TV out on the lawn. There's a dead body. No one's noticed it until just now.
They have a very strange reaction to discovering a corpse.
There was a party that night. No one at the party saw the body at night or anything. You know, like
maybe it was behind a bush or something.
It's ridiculous.
The female cop shows up at the Chamberlain's house, right, with the detective
who's in 2 scenes,
right,
for a total of 30 seconds.
And he's like a trench coat, fedora wearing, like detective,
old timey detective,
right? And he somehow has pictures of Anita and Shane at the beach house. So then that spurs Cody and Beverly to go investigate the beach house. And then these goons, one of being Tommy from the party earlier, and his buddy.
Hey, Tommy, look who we got here.
Is that like the worst wig ever, or what?
Foxy tonight, man.
Wait, on Tommy or the...
the woman? That's real hair on Tommy, for sure.
Show up.
Baldy locks?
Right, baldy locks. And Beverly and Cody cleverly hide in the shower while it's running.
Go ahead. Go for it. Make my day.
Look out!
Go for it? Make my day? Are you serious?
That's actually kind of an ingenious thing. Like when you think...
What?
Like hiding in a running shower? Like people would think you're vulnerable, you're taking a shower?
Yeah, no, that actually... And you get that result. Look at her shirt. It's perfect. Have you ever seen that before?
No, but
I don't think I've ever
it's
seen
clever because, you know, they would think that it's just someone taking a shower and they had no idea, but then...
You know what would have been great? If they had Mauser in the shower washing his hair. Oh!
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been good if it was the Three Stooges there, because then we could be like, there's another guy in that group that
Like all
likes
three of
to
them
take showers.
all three of them are taking a shower together.
It was Mauser with his hand stuck in his hair.
This is where the scene where we realize Cody's internal conflict is coming to the surface with this, where the female cop.
Yeah, yeah.
The female cop, he jumps in front of the female cop in chase with the henchmen, the goons, chasing him out of the beach house.
Mm.
So Beverly goes to shoot the henchman. She's there in chase, and then Cody's like, no, I'll take care of this. He literally jumps in front of a loaded gun, fires at them, and misses.
Look out, Beverly!
What? Why would he? No, let me do it.
Hey, I could have hit him.
Oh, really?
All right, it's these hands. They're the lethal weapons.
Yeah, just be careful when you play with yourself.
Ooh, that was good.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe he doesn't need that huge ass gun. Maybe that's the problem with his accuracy.
Doesn't he hit like a plant and the plant falls off on the ground or something?
There's like a windsurfing thing in front of them, in between them, right? And for some reason, I don't.
Like he shoots it and then it goes up, or did it?
He knows he's a horrible shot. Why is he going to do that? He knows she's a cop. She's
Right.
trained in shooting.
Definitely.
Just let her take the shot.
So she
be a
makes-
friggin' asshole and friggin' yeah.
So she takes the shot. She hits her target, and then what's the comment?
He says something. He makes an excuse about, well, yeah, I can't shoot, but these hands are deadly weapons.
Right.
And she says, just be careful when you're playing with yourself. Several occasions throughout the movie, Cody has run-ins with this family called the Buffingtons, who are just obsessed with racing Cody.
Well, they have some connection to the family,
Right.
Like they're connected to his father. Like it's been like a family tradition to race these people, right?
They say something about how the dad beat one of them in a stock car race.
And ever since then,
Right.
30 years ago at Charlotte, my daddy beat old P.L. Buffington here in a stock car race. He's been mad at our whole family ever since. He's got Doreen, his fat wife, and his boy...
His fat wife?
Yeah. Old PL's just dying to have his boy beat me in a race every chance he gets.
So anyway, at three points in the film, the movie. 3 points in the movie. I don't want to call this a film.
You just solely it's a
in the film. I cut that out, but whatever. I don't think like calling this like The Picture, like it's fucking Citizen Kane or something.
Yeah, right. Titty flick, tit flick. Isn't that what they're called?
Right.
Okay.
At 3 points in this movie, he has run-ins with this family, the Buffingtons, and they try to race him. First time they try to race him,
The Buffingtons.
they succeed in racing him twice. First time they beat him in the DeLorean with a Fiero. Second time they beat him in the Datsun
They're driving a lowrider.
with a lowrider. And the third time, maybe we should wait until the end to talk about the...
Right, because that kind of wraps up his
Right.
arc a little
Right.
bit. But so the Buffingtons,
Mhm.
who are they?
They're stereotypical Southern Americans.
Right.
Very stereotypical Southern Americans.
Like jug blowing.
Right. They have at one point, Bobo, the son, pulls out a bubbling bottle of whiskey that is obviously like iced tea and dry ice.
With dry ice in the bottom. It's like a milk.
Right.
It's like a milk jar. What do you call
What
it?
is it supposed to be? It's not
He said
moonshine.
it's nitrous oxide.
Nitrous oxide.
Yeah, that's what he put in his car to make it go so fast.
Yeah, but that's a gas, not a liquid.
With this right here!
What the hell?
What's that? Nitrous oxide! Don't
I think it's dry ice.
Iced tea with dry ice.
for 20 seconds, then it all...
I didn't write the movie.
That's what he said it was? I thought it was something they were drinking. Didn't he take a drink of it?
No, it was nitrous oxide. He said he put it in the...
Oh, I thought it was like their homemade whiskey or something.
If I'm wrong, you put it out there for everyone to see, but like I thought it was supposed to be the stuff he poured in the engine. Right? Standout car.
Yeah.
Would have to be the DeLorean.
Yeah. And it's painted red.
Yeah. I've never seen a DeLorean that wasn't the grayish silver color.
Well, they don't have any paint on them.
It's just metal?
That's the whole point of it's made out of steel. Remember what Doc Brown was talking about?
Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
It doesn't need any paint. That's kind of one of the gimmicks of the thing. Is it doesn't need any paint because the body's made out of stainless steel.
Oh, right.
So I think that if you wanted a red DeLorean, you'd have to go have it painted.
Right.
It would come
do you think the guy who paints the car was like, you sure you really want to do this? It could if you ever want to turn this into a time traveling machine, you're gonna have to remove the paint at some point.
Maybe, and you'd have to probably rough up the surface of the stainless steel.
Right. So the paint adheres.
Yeah. I don't know. Red DeLorean.
How long is it in the film? Like just the beginning, right?
Right. It seems like the owner of it may have been like super concerned that Andy Sedaris was gonna like trash his car.
Probably afraid the inside would get soiled at some point.
Right. After one race with the Buffingtons, Cody decides there's got to be something wrong with this prize DeLorean because there's no way it could have been beaten in a drag race by a Fiero with a four-banger.
Hey, Cody, how's it going? Mitch? Take a look at this car and tell me how come a four-banger just blew me off the road.
Sure, no problem.
That's right. So he's got his guys who just hang around the what do you call that?
It's like the boatyard.
Yeah,
it's like the boatyard.
Yeah. But we're never there again. You know, like there's no...
Well, it's probably like right next to where like the boat's like the dock, right?
By the
there's probably a boatyard right next to the dock.
So, but he has these guys on call?
Or the harbor. A harbor, what you would call that, right? Maybe they're just boat mechanics that are willing to...
And he's like buddies with them because he gets chicks, right? So why not spread the...
Yeah, there's no reason not to be buddies with Cody Abbott.
Yeah, jeez, that's like a dream come true.
So they're working on a car for Cody's dad, and it's supposed to be really something pretty crazy after they're done with it. And they're going to deliver it to Cody's yacht when they're done. And it's an Oldsmobile Forenza.
Hey, Beverly, how you like this Olds? Belongs to my daddy. He loves cars and gadgets.
Which is the equivalent, the Oldsmobile equivalent to Chevy Cavalier.
How long did they make the Oldsmobile Forenza? How long did that car last for?
Like 10 years or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like a one and done thing or something.
No, but there were GT models of the Forenza and the Cavalier, but it was
a standard model.
It doesn't mean it was a hatchback, so maybe it was like a GT or something. But still, it's
not very fast.
Yeah. And DeLoreans are freaking not fast cars either.
So DeLorean for Back to the Future, DeLorean is basically the cosmetic look of it was what they wanted, right? Like that's all it is.
Going off, if you want to go on a little tangent, a short one, that for Back to the Future, they had to put a different speedometer. They had to put a different face on the speedometer of the DeLorean Back to the Future because I think that the speedometer in a DeLorean only goes to 85. And they had to have one that went to 90.
80 to 90? What does it go to?
88 is the speed.
No, right, 88. But what does the speedometer look like in the movie?
Maybe they made one that went to 100 or went to 90 or something. They're not fast cars.
But they don't look like. It's not like you're going to be driving your family around in it. Like what is the?
It's like,
around the town kind of car.
Well, there's other examples of cars that aren't necessarily like fast cars, but they look cool.
Sportier, just a sportier model.
A Fiero would be another example of that.
Wonderful car.
Then the DeLorean's gone for the movie after that, and he gets a loaner. He gets a loaner that's some old Ford or something, And that's the car he ends up driving to the Chamberlain's house.
Right.
And then there's this running gag about because
how his car's not good enough.
Right. He's worried that his car's.
None of the cars in this movie are nice cars.
Right.
Except for the was there a Porsche? The Ferrari was in there, but it wasn't his car.
He makes some comment about how the Chamberlains just have Mercedes, Ferraris, and whatever. They have all these nice cars. You don't really see too many of them.
Not really doing anything.
So he's very self-conscious about this loner Ford he has, and they keep making fun of his car. So Shane goes, "Nice car," and then one of the other ones they keep teasing him about his car.
Yeah, he's insecure about his car and about the shooting.
Right.
It's two things.
And that gets shot up by Mauser.
And destroys his confidence.
Mauser shoots up. So we had to get rid of the DeLorean because the scene was coming up where Mauser shoots up the car.
Right.
And then as Mauser's shooting the car, he's shooting up the car, and then Cody says,
You wouldn't happen to have a loner, would you?
Is that what he said?
Yeah. But yeah, so then Mauser shoots up the Ford, and he's ended up just wandering through the desert alone, and he winds up at this used car lot in the middle of the desert. That's where he finds his Datsun, his Nissan, which is like a Nissan, I believe, right?
And there's a lady there.
I need the fastest thing on this lot.
Sugar, I'm the fastest thing on this lot.
Oh, mercy.
That's what high school was like for me. So it was so tough.
He came with the fastest thing on lots of Datsun 280s.
But it goes back to this idea that it's not always just awesome to be Cody Abilene.
Right, exactly.
It's sometimes it's
you got to deal with it.
This is happening to me when I don't want it to happen. All I want is a Datsun, and I gotta.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Jeez.
The Three Stooges follow them to the racetrack, and we get a shootout with Cody and the Three Stooges, and June Knockers is now with him. Yeah, it was. There was an issue with Luke's Mr. Universe, John Brown's hair.
Just think for once.
He got a haircut. Why does he have a haircut all of a sudden?
Maybe it's not the same guy.
For 2 seconds, he's got a flat top and a fade.
Yeah.
In the shot.
I wonder if anyone else has noticed that. Maybe we're the only ones that have ever noticed that.
I think we're the only ones who paid enough attention to this movie.
So yeah, shootout at the racetrack that ends in Cody and June fleeing in June's Firebird, race car, and they're and then the Three Stooges commandeer a helicopter. They have to get the pilot.
Oh yeah,
because they don't know how to fly it, but they go after him in a helicopter.
I really feel like that's a real pilot. I mean, they just said, hey,
probably
it has to be, right?
Right. So as they're flying around, Mauser makes the comment to the pilot.
Okay, old man, don't fool around. You do what I tell you, I'll blow your head off.
Okay.
Crazy, man. Who's gonna fly this helicopter and blow his head off?
This has got a point.
He's the most rational one.
I'll blow your head off if you don't, And John says, "You blow his head off. Who's gonna fly the helicopter?"
Like we needed this rational comment.
They're chasing him down the road, and June's getting pretty frisky.
Those things away? Look what he's making it do. That's disgusting. Blow him away.
I can't. All I see is tits.
Jeez, you don't understand. These guys are playing for keeps.
Blow him away. I can't. All I see is tits. Yeah, she's all over him.
Right.
Is this a good time?
Yeah. Again, going back to, it's not always the best situation to be Cody Abilene, because women are trying to constantly, in every situation, even when your life is on the line. Mauser orders the helicopter to put down on the road in front of them. Mm-hmm. And then
they get out of the helicopter. and they tell the helicopter pilot not to leave.
Right.
Then he leaves right away.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I know. Me personally, I would have waited till they walked away a little
Right.
bit, just so he couldn't shoot me point blank. But
Right. But anyway, and then June and Cody still barreling down the road, just run right into Mauser.
Oh my God! Watch it!
Oh my God, Mauser! What blew up?
Send him flying into the air.
And it's one of those shots where it's like you point the camera up at the sky and then like you throw some balls up in the air.
Yeah.
Like they do the same thing with him. Like he gets hit and then you just see his body go straight up in the air. It looks ridiculous.
And he hits the ground and he explodes.
Oh, we didn't mention the grenades.
Because he has Mauser has a proclivity for grenades.
He loves grenades.
He loves grenades. And Luke is always calling him on it.
Told that meathead to cool it with those live grenades.
Cool with those what?
His grenades from earlier blew him up.
And like, what's with those grenades, man? You know, what kind of, I mean, we're not in combat here, you know what I mean?
He's the voice of reason in this movie.
Right.
Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
He's constantly like saying, what are you doing?
Right. Until the end. What did you call it? It's like the Butch and Sundance moment of the movie, right?
Right.
Like where they're held up behind some berm or something. And
We're in big trouble.
No shit, Kimosabi.
he's got one bullet left, and he said something about like.
I only have one bullet left, and I've never hit a moving target in my life.
And that's when June saves the day.
Hey, look at these!
With her breasts.
I mean, really, that's what women have been doing for years, right?
They're stranded out in the desert now. Three Stooges are dead. They got to get back to civilization. Luckily, they come across a family in a recreational vehicle.
That's right.
Right?
It just happens to be Andy Sedaris.
And again, June saves the day.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He stops because...
Oh, mercy. I'm going to stop for this, Ellen.
I guess we must be near Hollywood.
I guess.
We get a ride in Palm Springs, please?
What do you think, honey?
Sure can. And bring the young lady with you, too, will you, please? Yeah.
We're at the part of the film where they made it through the dark period, and now he's coming back. Like things are working out, right?
Mm-hmm.
He survived the terrible ordeal in the desert.
He's driving along in his dad's Oldsmobile, and he comes across the Buffingtons again. And they challenge him to one final race.
Oh, at the track. That's
this
right.
time at the drag strip.
Yeah, the drag strip.
And now the Buffingtons got this like souped-up Camaro funny car.
Right.
That they're gonna.
But the Oldsmobile's now souped up as well from the mechanics working on it. It looks pretty realistic to me.
Well, it has two big propane tanks in the back of it. Oh, he's got some secret weapon in
Remember the mechanics were souping up his car?
What is that thing?
What?
They're propane tanks. Did you see that?
Do you know what it made me think of afterwards? I think what happened is there's probably like just like some guys riding in the back seat like discharging fire extinguishers.
Probably. Well, how would they?
Because it looked like fire extinguishers.
It probably was fire extinguishers, yeah, and somehow they just set them off within the tanks.
Or just like the fire extinguishers were behind the propane tanks, and some guy.
I mean, you could make a fire extinguisher from the propane tank. It would just be like a really big fire extinguisher, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like
fire extinguishers. It was fucking fire extinguishers.
Well, Mike, it was good hanging and watching this movie and then talking about it in great detail. Enjoying some Designer water.
No shit, Kimosabi. That is the coldest, disgustingest shit I've ever put in my mouth.
Leave that in.